Hey, my video is today. This topic is why I think same-sex marriage is wrong. But I'm not a homophobic. But what I gotta say is right. I just don't see how can a man marry a man. How can a woman marry a woman? And when you speak out against this stuff, people get upset or they flip out just for you speaking out against something like this. I'm not trying to criticize the homosexual community, but there is a lot of this stuff is growing, and I mean it's getting worse and worse. And another problem is it's like these transsexual. They go inside women's bathroom. Some of these guys don't even have the sex operation to remove their penis, and they go inside these women's bathroom. And these guys, man, they think they womans, and then you got a lot of these trannies go out here and be prostitute. And I mean, and they just worded for the real females who are hookers and stuff. And then you got a lot of these women who are dykes, who dress up like mans and stuff, who convince they're a man. And these dykes, they get paranoid when a guy look at them. If you could be any guy just looking at a dyke, they get paranoid thinking, man, you looking at them funny. They just like this paranoid when any guy look at them, these dykes. And I mean, it's sick. And I mean, these women sit up here and they always have all these attractive looking, beautiful women who look straight, and they just so paranoid or get so frustrated when a man look at them. I mean, they just weird. I don't know. I think my niece might be a dyke. I don't know. I'm not sure. But that's a long story to discuss. But how I look at the homosexual community, I think it's a disgrace to humanity just to see a lot of that going on and stuff. And I mean, and it's like these people, man, they get offended when you speak out against them. I mean, you got a lot of these heterosexual people who defend them, and then they think something's wrong with you when you speak out against these homosexual. And I'm just saying, man, it's like an epidemic. I think same-sex marriage is just wrong, but that's how I look at it. But they just passing them slow by slow. And I mean, they coming out the closet, all these gays. We had a gay parade here in my city just like 6 days ago, and a girl was telling me how there were thousands of them, man, showed up at the Pride Day parade, and she said she didn't know there were so many homosexuals like that in my city. I mean, 10 years ago, man, this would have been unheard of, 2004, but 2014, they everywhere, man. It's like a plague. I don't know how it is happening, but I just think same-sex marriage is wrong. I mean, then a lot of these homosexual couple, they adopt kids and stuff, and I mean, man, they either went that far and adopted a child, and that child can come out being gay. I'm not saying it could, but it's just like, I mean, how can you be a child that's had like two daddies or two mothers? Or either I had a lesbian told me once she had two gay male friends and two lesbian friends. They had sex just to make a baby, and that child is going to grow up and find out, that child can grow up with psychological problems to find out his or her father, I don't know, was it a boy or a girl, but that child can go and find out his father was gay, his mother is a lesbian, and they only just had sex just to make you, and they wasn't either truly attracted to each other. And I mean, I was told that by a lesbian. She had two gay male friends she knew who were married to each other, two lesbian friends who was married to each other, and they just had sex just to make a baby. Them childs can grow up with psychological problems from two homosexual parents. And I mean, it's just sickening how some women who are lesbian, they go out here with sperm banks and stuff. And I think 50 Cent is one of them, because he rapped in one of his videos. I forgot the name of it, and he talks about how his mother was a lesbian. Like in these sperm banks and stuff. And I think there's a lot of that going on. And I mean, cause I think somebody said Dick Cheney's daughter, I mean, the former vice president of the United States, his daughter had actually had a sperm bank and stuff to have a child. And I mean, it's really horrible when them childs, man, be born and they find out their mother's a lesbian, and they use the sperm bank to make them, or some guy donated his sperm, or either you grow up find out your mother and father is homosexual and they just had sex to make you. I mean, or you adopted. I mean, it's like, man, sickness. And I mean, I'm just asking people out here who look at my video, give me your advice, man. What you think about this? I mean, I don't have, Trudy myself, right? I truly don't have no problem what like the gay males, like this like regular gay males or regular gay women. But the problem I truly have is with them dykes, them trannies. And I mean them dykes, they paranoid. You either look at them as a guy, man, they might either go off on you. Cause they think every guy's looking at them saying something about them trannies. I mean, a lot of them go out here, go into women's bathroom, go out here and be prostitute. I even know a dude told me one time he met a woman at a bar, and then he got an oil sex, and then he found out a couple of weeks later that was a man. Cause some of them look identical like women, where it's hard for you to either tell if that's a man or a woman. And he told me this. He didn't even know that was a tranny. Looked identical like a real woman. He found out a couple of weeks later that was a tranny. And some of them look identical like a woman, which it's impossible to either to find out, man, this and that. I mean, it's sick. Because some of them trannies, they don't tell these guys out here they actually transsexual. And they do be messing around with them guys, getting them guys oral sex, or messing around having sex with some of them guys. Have sex with these guys and only tell these guys what they truly are. And that's a psychological problem. That's a problem we need to be discussing in our society about them. And sometimes I heard stories about lesbians, where at parties and stuff, sometimes lesbians, they take advantage of sometimes some of they heterosexual female friends who might not either be a lesbian, and they might actually have sex with her. And she might not either be a lesbian. And some of them lesbians, women had done that. I heard that. That stuff take place at party. I'm talking about mainly white women who are lesbian, take advantage of these white girls who are heterosexual, who don't even engage in homosexuality. And they actually sleep with them when they at a party. I mean, it's sick how a lot of them homosexual, how they do some of the most sickest stuff to people. I just think same-sex marriage is wrong. I'm not a homophobic. But if you have a problem with that, that's your damn problem. That ain't my problem, but I just got the right to speak of how I truly feel. I just think, man, it should be between a man and a woman, and I don't think the homosexuality should not even be existing in our society. It's getting worse and worse. It's like a plague running around our fucking society. It's worse. Man, I just wish I was living back in the 80s or the 70s or maybe the 90s. One thing I can say about the 1930s and the 50s under the white man when he was in control of the United States, I'm talking about back in the Jim Crow segregation time, homosexuals did not exist back in the segregation times. The white man wasn't going for that back then, but that was just a tragedy for us as black people. We had to put up with that racial crap. But I just wish I was living in the 90s or the 70s or the 1980s, because it wasn't all this homosexual stuff. That was prohibited in our society back then. It was there, but it wasn't like what it is now. It just got worse and worse and worse. And I mean, it's like a whole generation of kids growing up with that had to look at this filth. And I think my niece might be one. Ugh. Anyway, if people out here view my videos, just tell me what your opinion is. That's all.